Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Ronke and I love to talk about travel, career, and lifestyle topics here. In today's video, I'm talking about changing majors. This is extremely important for those who are in their undergraduate career and are considering changing their major. You might be someone who started undergrad with a clear idea of what you wanted to study and what you wanted to do, but then you got into your classes and now you're rethinking it. If you're asking yourself, should I change my major? Listen on for some tips that will help you figure that out. Number one, you're doing your absolute best, but you're still struggling. Now, doing your best for me is you're studying, you are attending class, you're taking notes, you're talking to your professor, you're talking to the TAs. You might even be seeking assistance outside from tutors. You're doing study groups. You're doing any and everything possible to help you understand the material. If you're doing all of that and you're still struggling, you probably want to reconsider your major. Now, I will say that there are, of course, some majors that are maybe a bit harder, right? That are just a little bit more complex. Maybe the sort of courses you're taking are a little bit more complex. If it is the general kind of vibe that everyone is doing about the same as you, then I might not necessarily be as concerned. But if other people are excelling and you're really struggling, then you really want to reconsider if this is the right major for you. This does not mean that all of a sudden you should change your whole career path, but it might mean that maybe you tweak your major to be something that will give you a little bit more flexibility. So for example, you might decide that you want to go to medical school. If you are struggling in the higher levels of chemistry because you decided to be a chemistry major, maybe you might consider being a biology major instead of focusing on biology courses. You, of course, would complete the chemistry requisites that you would need to qualify for the medical school, process, but you would, instead of taking higher level chemistry courses, maybe focus on higher level biology courses. So changing your major does not necessarily mean you have to even change your career path. So you want to think about that as well. Are there things that I can do that would help me still maintain my career path, but would help me find a major that's better suited for my strengths? Because ultimately, low GPAs are not helpful. The second reason why you might want to consider changing your major is if your desired career path changes. So you went into college and you wanted to be a lawyer so bad. You wanted to do criminal law because you watched How to Get Away with Murder and you wanted to be the next Annalise Keating. But then you realize, I don't really want to do this. I would actually like to be an accountant. For accounting in particular, there are some courses and certifications that you could take while in undergrad that set you up properly for when it's time to get a job, right? So if you're making a switch like that, where the coursework or there are certifications that are happening in the undergraduate process, it may make sense to change your major if your career path has changed. The third reason why you might be considering changing your major is if you've done any internships or even had mentorships within that specific field and you're realizing it's not for you. So I can give a personal example here. When I was in high school, I thought I wanted to be a doctor because I liked biology and I liked genetics. However, when I went into care settings, I realized very quickly that, yeah, girl, this ain't for you. I don't like bodily fluids. I don't like being in hospitals or other care settings. And I already could tell that even if I thugged it out and became a doctor, it was not something I wanted to do for a very long time, like maybe 5 years. And for me, it just didn't seem worth it in the end. So I changed my mind because I had experiences that showed me like, you don't really want this. So if you're someone that is considering changing your major, I would really hope that you've taken the time to find an internship or even speak to someone who's actively working in that ideal career path you had in mind and see how it is for them. If you can be honest with yourself and truly tell yourself, I don't really want this, then it's okay to change your major. So as I said, just make sure that if you are considering changing your major, try to find an internship just so you can get actual real world experience to what that field may be like. And if you, for whatever reason, cannot find an internship, finding a mentor or someone who can really give you the ins and outs of that career would be ideal. And if you have the bandwidth, it would also be wise to try to do an internship or speak to a mentor within the career field that you now have in mind. The fourth reason why you may consider switching your major is if your major is too general. So some people might do a general studies if they don't know what they want to do yet, or they might just do it with the intention that they'll use the skills and the general content learned from whatever courses they take to get themselves a job in whatever industry they're looking for. However, if you're getting to your junior or senior year and you have a defined career path in mind, it might be advisable to switch to a major that will give you all the prerequisites that you need for that career path. So by your junior year, if you know that you want to be a pharmacist, you might want to consider taking the upper level courses of chemistry, math, biology, whatever, that you would need to qualify for pharmacy school. The downside is that if you stick with the general studies major and you end up missing some of the courses you need to take, you either will have to do a post-bac or you may end up extending your undergraduate journey a little bit longer than you should. Finally, if you know that you have another major in mind that you know is a better fit for you, it makes sense to switch majors. Now, how would you know? You might know because you've done your research. You've spoken to the professors, you've spoken to students, you looked up courses, you looked at the syllabus of the courses. There are so many things that you can do to research and figure out if this might be a better fit for you, and you've done all those things. If you've done all of those things and you know that this other major is a better fit for you, then it is definitely worth considering switching your major. Now, when you're in college, there's some people that switch majors multiple times, and there's some others that might switch once and get really nervous about doing it. But ultimately, the goal is for you to major in something and have a defined career path that fits you. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change the things you're interested in. So please make sure that you are doing your absolute best always, but also give yourself the opportunity to change and find the right things that better fit you as you're growing as an individual. That's all I have for today's video. Let me know in the comments if you ever changed your major. As always, make sure to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to my channel for more travel, career, and lifestyle content. See you next time.